These are the journeys of the children of Israel, who went out of the land of Egypt by their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron.
It's kind of funny that
Now
they
Moses
added a
wrote
recap.
down the starting points of their journeys at the command of the Lord. And these are their journeys, according to their starting points.
God commanded a recap.
They departed from Ramesses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the day after the Passover, the children of Israel...
Okay, right, because Passover was the last plague, right? So
Israel went out with boldness in the sight of all the Egyptians. For the Egyptians were burying all their firstborn, whom the Lord had killed among them.
And they left immediately.
Also on their gods the Lord had executed judgments. Then the children of Israel moved from Ramesses and camped at Succoth.
Also on their gods the Lord had executed judgments. The Lord executed judgments on their gods. How did the Lord do that when those gods don't even exist? Right? Or did, God execute judgment on their gods in the eyes of the Egyptians? Let's see, 33:4. Bible doesn't say anything.
They departed from Succoth and camped at Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. They moved from Etham and turned back to Pi-hahiroth, which is east of Baal-zephon, and they camped near Migdal. They departed from before Hahiroth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham, and camped at Marah. They moved from Marah and came to Elim. At Elim were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees. So they camped there. They moved from Elim and camped by the Red Sea. They moved from the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin. They journeyed from the wilderness of Sin and camped at Daphka. They departed from Daphka and camped at Alush. They moved from Alush and camped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They departed from Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. They moved from the wilderness of Sinai and camped at Kibroth Hattaavah.
Let me see if I can get a map going of Exodus. So we can follow along. What? I feel like I'm in dial-up right now. What's going on? Wow. Okay, so we were just talking about
Sinai.
Sinai. Where's Sinai at? Mount Sinai, right here. Okay. So we had come from here. We're going up here. Mount Sinai. Right? The wilderness of Sin. We just passed that, right? So let's let this play.
They moved from the wilderness of Sinai and camped at Kibroth Hattaavah. They departed from Kibroth Hattaavah and camped at Hazirath. They departed from Hazirath and camped at Rithmah.
Wait, where? I don't see that on this map. Do you guys, or was I blind? Right, Mount Sinai. I mean, I guess they're not going to have the exact camps on these maps, maybe. Let's just keep going and see.
They departed from Rithmah and camped at Rimmon Perez. They departed from Rimmon Perez and camped at Libnah. They moved from Libnah and camped at Rissa. They journeyed from Rissa and camped at Kehelatha. They went from Kehelatha and camped at Mount Shepha. They moved from Mount Shepha and camped at Harada. They moved from Harada and camped at Machelath. They moved from Machelath and camped at Tahath. They departed from Tahath and camped at Tira. They moved from Tira and camped at Mithka. They went from Mithka and camped at Hashmonah. They departed from Hashmonah and camped at Mosira. They departed from Mosira and camped at Beni Jaakon. They moved from Beni Jaakon and camped at Horha Gidgad. They went from Horha Gidgad and camped at Jatbatha. They moved from Jatbatha and camped at Abrona. They departed from Abrona and camped at Ezion Geber. They moved from Ezion Geber and camped in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. They moved from Kadesh and camped in Mount Hor, on the boundary of the land of Edom. Then Aaron the priest went up to Mount Hor at the command of the Lord.
Oh, they were to the boundary of Eden. Where's Kadesh? Kadesh should be on the map. Here's Kadesh, Barnea, Petra, El Beta, Mount Hor, right? Kadesh. Okay, it's right here. Okay. So they went up. I'm guessing all these camps are all along. They're camping a whole bunch, right? And then they got up to here.
They moved from Jatbatha and camped at Abrona. They departed from Abrona and camped at Ezion Geber. They moved from Ezion Geber and camped in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. They moved from Kadesh and camped in Mount Hor, on the boundary of the land of Edom. Then Aaron the priest went up to Mount Hor at the command of the Lord.
At the boundary of Eden, right? So isn't Eden supposed to be like in between the Tigris and the Euphrates? Mount Hor. Tigris and Euphrates. Persian Gulf. Oh, we don't see the Persian Gulf in this map. Okay, Nile River, Red Sea, Caspian Sea. So we're nowhere near. Right? Red Sea is right here. So if Eden is supposed to be somewhere around here, that's like over here. But the Tigris and Euphrates are over here. And I thought, isn't there something like that Eden is in between the Tigris and Euphrates or something like that? Right? It did say in Genesis, right? The Euphrates and the Tigris are first mentioned in the Bible in the book of Genesis. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 rivers. After the Pishon and Gihon, the names of the third river is the Tigris, which flows east of Assyria, and the 4th river is Euphrates. Whoop. And Assyria is... flows east of Assyria. Right. Then why is... I mean, we could do a whole video on this, right? Because God's saying Garden of Eden is right. I mean, Garden of Eden, the border of Garden of Eden is right here. Or it's massive. Or was Garden of Eden massive? I don't know. Well, we can look into that later. That's a lot to look into.
And died there in the 40th year after the children of Israel, which is Kadesh. They moved from Kadesh and camped in Mount Hor, on the boundary of the land of Edom. Then Aaron the priest went up to Mount Hor at the command of the Lord, and died there in the 40th year after the children of Israel had come out of the land of Egypt, on the 1st day of the 5th month. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor.
Lived a good life.
Now the king of Arad, the Canaanite who dwelt in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. So they departed from Mount Hor and camped in Zalmonah. They departed from Zalmonah and camped in Punon. They departed from Punon and camped at Obath. They departed from Obath and camped at Ije-Abarim, at the border of Moab. They departed from Ijim and camped at Dibon-Gad. They moved from Dibon-Gad and camped at Almon-Diblathaim. They moved from Almon-Diblathaim and camped in the mountains of Abarim, before Nebo. They departed from the mountains of Abarim and camped in the plains of Moab, by the Jordan, across from Jericho. They camped by the Jordan from Beth-Jesimoth as far as the Abel Acacia Grove, in the plains of Moab. Now the Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab, by the Jordan, across from Jericho, saying,
Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, When you have crossed the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, destroy all their engraved stones, destroy all their molded images, and demolish all their high places. You shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land and dwell in it, for I have given you the land to possess. And you shall divide the land by lot as an inheritance among your families. To the larger you shall give a larger inheritance, and to the smaller you shall give a smaller inheritance. There everyone's inheritance shall be whatever falls to him by lot. You shall inherit according to the tribes of your fathers. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall be that those whom you let remain shall be irritants in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and they shall harass you in the land where you dwell. Moreover, it shall be that I will do to you as I thought to do to them.
Then the Lord spoke to Moses.
Command the children of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan to its boundaries. Your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Zin, along the border of Edom. Then your southern border shall extend eastward to the end of the Salt Sea. Your border shall turn from the southern side of the ascent of Akrabim, continue to Zin, and be on the south of Kadesh Barnea. Then it shall go on to Hazar Adar, and continue to Asmon. The border shall turn from Asmon to the brook of Egypt, and it shall end at the sea. As for the western border, you shall have the great sea for a border. This shall be your western border. And this shall be your northern border. From the great sea you shall mark out your borderline to Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you shall mark out your border to the entrance of Hamath. Then the direction of the border shall be toward Zedad. The border shall proceed to Ziphron, and it shall end at Hazar Enan. This shall be your northern border. You shall mark out your eastern border from Hazar Enan to Shepham. The border shall go down from Shepham to Riblah on the east side of Ain. The border shall go down and reach to the eastern side of the Sea of Kinnereth. The border shall go down along the Jordan, and it shall end at the Salt Sea.
That's cool.
This shall be your land, with its surrounding boundaries.
Then Moses commanded the children of Israel,
This is the land which you shall inherit by lot, which the Lord has commanded to give to the 9 tribes and to the half-tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben, according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad, according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance. And the half-tribe of Manasseh has received its inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half-tribe have received their inheritance on this side of the Jordan, across from Jericho eastward toward the sunrise.
and the Lord spoke to Moses.
These are the names of the men who shall divide the land among you as an inheritance: Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun. And you shall take 1 leader of every tribe to divide the land for the inheritance. These are the names of the men. From the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh. From the tribe of the children of Simeon, Shemuel the son of Ammihud. From the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad the son of Kislon. A leader from the tribe of the children of Dan, Bakkai the son of Joglai. From the sons of Joseph, a leader from the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Haniel the son of Ephod, and a leader from the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel the son of Shifton. A leader from the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Elizaphan the son of Parnak. A leader from the tribe of the children of Issachar, Paltiel the son of Azan. A leader from the tribe of the children of Asher, Ahiad the son of Shilomai. And a leader from the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Pedahel the son of Ammihud.
These are the ones the
Joseph?
Lord commanded to divide the inheritance among the children of Israel in the land of Canaan.
I don't see I don't see Joseph. What? Right? Am I blind? Right, this says Joseph was not even on here. From the tribe of the children of Simeon, Shemuel, a leader from the tribe of children of Dan, Buki, the son of Jogli. From the sons of Joseph, a leader from the tribe of the children of Manasseh. Manasseh. They used that name. Okay.
And the Lord spoke to Moses in the plains of Moab, by the Jordan, across from Jericho.
Command the children of Israel that they give the Levites cities to dwell in, from the inheritance of their possession, And you shall also give the Levites common land around the cities. They shall have the cities to dwell in, and their common land shall be for their cattle, for their herds, and for all their animals. The common land of the cities which you will give to the Levites shall extend from the wall of the city outward 1,000 cubits all around. And you shall measure outside the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, on the south side 2,000 cubits, on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. The city shall be in the middle. This shall belong to them as common land for the cities. Now among the cities which you will give to the Levites, you shall appoint 6 cities of refuge, to which a manslayer may flee, and to these you shall add 42 cities.
Let me read that again, right? Because the Levites aren't supposed to inherit their own space, right? Their inheritance is from all the offerings that they've been given, right? Their inheritance is a portion of what God gives them. Command the children of Israel that they give the Levites cities to dwell in from the inheritance of their possession, right? So the Levites looks like they're going to be living in all throughout, right? They shall have the cities to dwell in, and their common land shall be for their cattle, for their herds, and for their animals. The common land of the cities which you shall give the Levites shall extend from the wall of the city outward 1,000 cubits all around. So each city in each territory are going to have, each territory are going to have cities, areas in these cities for Levites that Levites can use. You shall measure outside the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, right? I'm guessing the city here is just talking in general terms, like a city in each of those divisions that we just saw.
Among the cities which you will give to the Levites, you shall appoint 6 cities of refuge, to which a manslayer may flee, and to these you shall add 42 cities. So all the cities you will give to the Levites shall be 48. These you shall give with their common land. And the cities which you will give shall be from the possession of the children of Israel. From the larger tribe you shall give many, from the smaller you shall give few. Each shall give some of its cities to the Levites, in proportion to the inheritance that each receives.
Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying,
Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when you cross...
That's interesting. The effect that this is giving, right? The Levites don't get their own inheritance, their own portion of the land, right? They have to rely on the other tribes giving them a portion of their land to live, right? Which means that the Levites are the only tribe that's scattered all throughout the promised land, right? Every other tribe has their own area, whereas the Levites... So I wonder what that does to them as a people, culturally, practice-wise, right? How they coordinate their beliefs. I mean, the beliefs don't change, but, as time goes on, things slowly change, right? So I'm going to assume that things will change. Different regions, the Levites, how they practice in different regions are going to be different.
The Jordan into the land of Canaan. Then you shall appoint cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer who kills any person accidentally may flee there. They shall be cities of refuge for you from the avenger, that the manslayer may not die until he stands before the congregation in judgment.
Wow.
And of the cities which you give, you shall have 6 cities of refuge. You shall appoint 3 cities on this side of the Jordan, and 3 cities you shall appoint in the land of Canaan, which will be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be...
I guess it works in the sense like if somebody murdered somebody, they can, I'm scared, and run to one of these cities of refuge, right? But I I guess it works in the sense like if they didn't do it and they're being wrongfully convicted, well, not yet convicted, but wrongfully blamed, and they run, and then they come back after, they can figure out how to prove their innocence or something like that.
You shall appoint 3 cities on this side of the Jordan, and 3 cities you shall appoint in the land of Canaan, which will be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be for refuge for the children of Israel, for the stranger, and for the sojourner among them, that anyone who kills a person accidentally may flee there. But if he strikes him with an iron implement so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he strikes him with a stone in the hand, by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death.
I feel like Moses had some influence on this decision, given his past.
Death. Or if he strikes him with a wooden hand weapon by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The avenger of blood himself shall put the murderer to death. When he meets him, he shall put him to death. If he pushes him out of hatred, or while lying in wait hurls something at him so that he dies, or in enmity he strikes him with his hand so that he dies, the one who struck him shall surely be put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. However, if he pushes him suddenly without enmity, or throws anything at him without lying in wait, or uses a stone by which a man could die, throwing it at him without seeing him, so that he dies, while he was not his enemy or seeking his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the manslayer and the avenger of blood, according to these judgments. So the congregation shall deliver the manslayer from the hand of the avenger of blood, and the congregation shall return him to the city of refuge where he had fled, and he shall remain there until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the holy oil.
Whoa.
But if the manslayer at any time goes outside the limits of the city of refuge where he fled, and the avenger of blood finds him outside the limits of his city of refuge, and the avenger of blood kills the manslayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the manslayer may return to the land of his possession. And these things shall be a statute of judgment to you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoever kills a person, the murderer shall be put to death on the testimony of witnesses. But one witness is not sufficient testimony against a person for the death penalty. Moreover, you shall take no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. And you shall take no ransom for him who has fled to his city of refuge, that he may return to dwell in the land before the death of the priest. So you shall not pollute the land where you are, for blood defiles the land, and no atonement can be made for the land, for the blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of him who shed it. Therefore, do not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell. For I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel.
Now the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead,
This is it,
the
last
son
chapter of
Machir,
Numbers.
the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spoke before Moses and before the leaders, the chief fathers of the children of Israel.
The Lord commanded my lord Moses to give the land as an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my lord was commanded by the Lord to give the inheritance of our brother Zelophehad to his daughters. Now, if they are married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then their inheritance will be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and it will be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry. So it will be taken from the lot of our inheritance. And when the Jubilee of the children of Israel comes, then their inheritance will be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry. So their inheritance will be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers.
Then Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of the Lord.
What the tribe of the sons of Joseph speaks is right. This is what the Lord commands concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, "Let them marry whom they think best, but they may marry only within the family of their father's tribe." So the inheritance of the children of Israel shall not change hands from tribe to tribe. For every one of the children of Israel shall keep the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter who possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be the wife of one of the family of her father's tribe.
Remember, these tribes are tens of thousands of people, right? 40,000, 50, 60, 70,000 people, right? So you're not necessarily going to marry a relative just because you're supposed to marry someone from your own tribe.
So that the children of Israel each may possess the inheritance of his fathers. Thus no inheritance shall change hands from one tribe to another, but every tribe of the children of Israel shall keep its own inheritance.
Just as the Lord commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. For Mahlah, Tirzah, Haglah, Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married to the sons of their father's brothers. They were married into the families of the children of Manasseh.
Oh, well, I guess they did marry their relatives. Yeah, they married their cousins. Okay. Well.
The son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of their father's family. These are the commandments and the judgments which the Lord commanded the children of Israel by the hand of Moses in the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho.
Ooh, that's it. They reached, man. They finally reached the promised land. Got everything divvied up. Got the inheritance worked out. Man. Tomorrow we're beginning a new book. Deuteronomy. Man, that's crazy. That was a long journey, right? From Egypt all the way to Canaan. Divvying up the promised land. After all that hardship and struggle, they finally reached. Finally. So tomorrow, the previous command to enter Canaan. I guess we're getting a little recap again about entering Canaan. And then we're going to start appointing leaders of the tribes. Ah, that's interesting, right? Because we already had leaders. So let's see. Maybe the organizational, the structure is going to be changed a little bit. So that's it. Tomorrow we're going to be jumping into Deuteronomy. We finished Numbers today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Bible reading. Tomorrow, remember? Deuteronomy. Hope you guys check back tomorrow for that. And I'll see you guys later. All right? Take care. Goodbye.